Oh, shit. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Chewed Up and Spit Out. As always, I'm just Dusty.
I'm still Jeff.
And I'm Timmy, a.k.a. the Fat Chef.
And with us today, we have Blaine Baley from In the Weeds.
What's up? How's it going, everybody?
So tell us a little bit about In the Weeds, what you're doing over there.
Yeah, man. So In the Weeds is a support system. We're a non-profit here in Durango, looking to spread out a little bit. But we are a support system for restaurant and hospitality staff. We offer support groups, physical activity groups like yoga, physical therapy. We did a rafting trip last month and hopefully can do some more. We're not planning too far ahead just due to the whole COVID thing. But, we're kind of moving into talking about like employment agency almost, like helping people find jobs.
Yeah,
And
that's
Nice.
awesome.
restaurants get those jobs. So,
Yeah.
I know you're pretty good friends with the bearded yoga Mike,
yeah.
and we had him on here a couple of weeks ago. I would love to hang out with you guys in a park, but I just don't like sunshine.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're in the shade, man. We're in the shade. Wintertime, we'll be going to the basement of the Irish Embassy, so that'll be sweet.
Oh, that's way
Perfect.
more Jeff's level. Basement, bar, I am in. I'm already there. Actually, nudge me. I'll be in the corner asleep.
No,
But
that's
Jeff,
what,
if you were to go, your cloud could follow you. You could get a little bit of shade for everybody.
If I had master control over clouds, I definitely would, Timmy.
Right on.
yeah, that's great. What's having Mike there with his style of yoga? It's more like that metal style. We're not pushing that hippy dippy shit that you typically think of whenever you're going to yoga. So Mike was like the perfect candidate for that, and the folks that have been coming that are in the industry fucking love it. So
Yeah.
For sure. He looks like a fucking Viking,
I mean, his beard's so good, it's going to be in a music video one day.
it is pretty awesome seeing the looks we get, like with him out there in the park, people walking by, and we're doing some stretches. Who the fuck? What the fuck is going on? This isn't yoga.
That's a lot of tattoos on that yogi. Why does he look like a bear? Oh, man. But yeah, that's an awesome service, man. That's something I think all of us can kind of agree that is really needed in the community. There's not a lot of that. It's a lot more, quit being a pussy.
Yeah.
Get back to work.
Yeah, and that's like I fully agree. Like that's how the whole industry is and that tradition is, and we kind of want to change that, but we're also not trying to make people soft. Like
Yeah.
you don't got to learn how to talk to each other or whatever. It's just how to handle different situations. That's kind of like what we're wanting to do with some management training and teaching staff. So like whenever it's Friday night dinner rush and you have that dude that's about to freak the fuck out, how can you talk them down from walking off the line or just quitting or whatever?
Yes, conflict resolution,
Yep.
disengaging people from being all emotional or being human, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or just like those tools, like here's a little 5-minute or even just 1-minute exercise, like grounding your body to like, all right, here I am. This is what's going on. Whenever you're lost in the weeds, like how to get back on track. Giving those little tools that aren't.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
So you mean not throwing pans at the dishwasher?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
well, they should know how to dodge, but hey, that's old school. I have suffered from anxiety attacks pretty regularly in the last 10 years,
Yeah.
And so I found myself going through a different few steps on how to talk myself down, because if you just have a mental anxiety attack, it's up to you to talk yourself down,
Yeah.
And one thing I do is I say out loud 10 things I see in my current area,
Yep.
oh, that's a fucking painting on the wall. It looks like red. I see red, that's a fucking cutting board over there. It's not cleaned properly. I should probably clean that, and go through those steps. But also I found out that eating fresh mint fucking helps out a lot.
Nice.
And if I don't have fresh mint, I keep a can of Altoids in my backpack just in case,
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like mint, but not really.
Yeah. And that's I love hearing that type of stuff. That's kind of the support groups we do every month. We do first and third Mondays. That's kind of those discussions. Like, what helps you get through the shift? What helps you deal with that fucking Karen now that everybody's talking about, you know. So it is these tools, like, and a lot of times, like, I feel like we're in the industry like some of the most resilient mentally, you know, out there, because we deal with this bullshit. Like, we talked about it, you know, like, you think about your stress levels as a normal person. If you aren't in the industry, your stress levels each day are like, I can't find my keys to the car. So you get a high stress moment of like 5 minutes, then you find your keys and you're back to work. And you're like, I don't want to fucking talk to Billy in the break room or whatever. You get another 5 minutes of stress. Like, you just have like a few little spikes. For us, we get to the fucking work. It's like rush hits and it's through the roof. We're sitting at high volume stress. Like,
it's at 11. You know?
Yeah.
And it's that for 5 to 12 hours. And
And for me, I always forget my keys to start the day anyways, so that's the first
First problem. So there's a little spike before you even get to the line.
before I even leave the house, you know. Shit, why'd I put them in the microwave again? What's that?
why did I drink that vodka last night?
Not just that one, but all of that one.
All of that one.
So, yeah, man, like, and it is just changing that way of looking at things, like, just to start the discussion, you know, like, I've been to an AA meeting, I've been to these different groups, and it's like, we're going to talk about God and all that shit. And it's like, no, fuck that. Like,
Doesn't apply to you, you know?
Yeah. And I just want to, like, start that discussion. And that's what a lot of times, like, and a lot of folks in the groups aren't looking to go sober or, like, get off hard drugs or stuff, but there might be that one person. So, like, just helping them take that first little step, you know, and get to the help. Like, that's kind of, we're like that middle stepping stone. Like, dude, if you're looking to get serious about it, here's the resources, here's the places, here's a therapist or whatever. Like, just to start that discussion.
Nice.
So.
Like, that's excellent work that you're doing. And the first step is on the person seeking that first step, you know?
Yep.
And if they're seeking that first step, that means they care a little bit, you know, like they're trying for some sort of self-preservation, you know?
Yep.
And so that first step is on them, you know?
Yep.
It's nice to have you there, like, for the second step to where they could actually, you know, seek help, seek a camaraderie, you know? And I agree with you. Like, it's not about, like, going sober. It's about, like, moderation or, like, fucking just checking yourself, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's, you know, like, we're sitting here, I'm drinking a beer right now. Like, used to, like, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to drink this beer and be done. You know, like, I would go buy another case of beer and a bottle of whiskey, and I'd be on my way to blackout, you know?
Yeah.
And it took a lot of fucking work to get where I am now. And,
Well, fine job, sir.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to give it up. And that's what, like, sometimes you get in those different groups and they're like, oh, it's the devil, you know, or you got to get rid of it, man. Like, you're never going to get better. It's like, no, man, like, you can get control of yourself.
You can, yeah. There's you just got to be able to stop before you take it to 11.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's I think part of the key, and a lot of that is, you know, being in a good headspace, because I know, you know, I was in that exact same space too, and it's typically, you know, you get into that bad headspace, and then that first beer, it's just like, wow, that was good. That was way better than what was fucking before it. So let's keep going with that and not deal with the shit that came before it.
Yeah. Or just drinking off the hangover from the night before, you know?
Yeah.
The good old shower beers.
Yeah. So,
Shower beers are the best beers, by the way.
Yeah, it's like all hot, like refreshing over the top of you, and like drinking cool carbonated like alcohol. It's awesome. But it's probably not the best thing all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's also more or less a joke.
I know.
But then again, if you haven't had a shower beer, you should probably try one.
Try one. Just put on happy music, because if it's sad music at all is playing, then it's definitely depressing.
Sounds like Dusty has been like curled up in the shower before crying.
Yeah, actually, I think that all depends on the shower beer. Are you standing, happily washing yourself, or are you in a puddle in the corner crying?
Listening to sad music.
Listening to sad
Well, you know,
music.
and if it's Monday or Friday.
Yeah.
For that one, you know?
True.
yeah, that reminds me of the crying in the corner, crying in the walk-in. So that's like one of our next big things is like getting an office space, but more so like a communal space for restaurant folks. Like whenever you're on those doubles, you know how often it's like, I'm going to go next door to the bar and have a couple shots and a couple beers before the next shift or whatever. So we want to have like this space to where you can come hang out, have Red Bulls instead or whatever, like pass out for an hour.
I hope they do have a punching bag.
Yeah, dude, stuff like that, like just a chill out area, couple couches, TV, video games, whatever, just to like block out and not get blacked out. But we're wanting to call it the walk-in.
The
So it's
walk-in.
like,
I like that. Yeah, I like
That's
go
a
cry
good
in the
one.
walk-in,
cry in
and
the
it'd just be a
walk-in.
couple blocks
Yeah.
down or some shit.
There's a punching bag and a yoga ball over there. Go deal with yourself. You know?
I mean, you should have a soundproof room because one of my favorite things to do in the walk-in is yelling at produce. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a good way to get to relieve a little bit of stress because normally nobody's around.
Have
but,
just some food pictures on the wall in a little soundproof corner that people could just go into. Just fuck you, zucchini.
Stupid arugula.
Boxes of fries. That was my favorite. One of my managers, like Friday night dinner rush, like, and the entire serving staff was all sorority girls. So quite the challenge every night. But one night he's just like, nope, fuck this, and walked offline. And you could hear him from the walk-in just screaming. Went into the walk-in to grab my case of burgers and just see fist holes in every single box of fries in there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, he was tenderizing them.
yeah. It's like, man, that was solid, like 20 punches. That's pretty good. That was good.
Well, one of the places I worked back in the day, the Leaky Roof, guy I worked there with Joe. He was a bigger dude, and he was telling me one day, he's like pointing out everything to me, and there was a giant trash bag full of peas that were frozen in the walk-in. And he's like, these peas are for nothing. Like, nothing has peas, nothing uses peas. It's like, these peas, and he even put a piece of tape on them. He's like, these peas are HR. So, like, if you need to do anything, someone offends you, you're upset about something, come back and take it up with HR, and then
Go make your peace.
Yeah, go back into the walk-in, and then one day, he's having a real rough day. We're just getting fucking crushed, and he's like, I need a minute, and I hear him walk back to the walk-in, and just that fucking like death yell, just, oh fuck, and he comes out, and I'm like, what's up, dude? And he's like, I fucking killed HR. And he punched the bag of peas and put a hole right into it, and it just rained fucking 50 gallons worth of peas all over the walk-in. Like, okay, I've got to clean it up and think about my problems now.
I'm sure Led Zeppelin's song, The Immigrant Song, was playing. Too,
Yeah,
in his head.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But this is true stuff. Like, this is actual things. Like, this is what we go through, 5 days out of the week. I got kind of like pretty seriously enraged yesterday because 3 of my coworkers decided they did not want to come to work.
Yep.
And, like,
3 of them.
you don't make that decision. Like, that's not your decision. What our kitchen is a staff of reliable people that show up and do their job. And goddamn, I tell you, like, I'm still in the process of writing this whole, like, a speech out to them, which I will pull my boss in so he can referee. I will turn down the music, and I'll tell these people exactly what I think about them. And then after that, I'm pretty sure my boss will tell me to shut up. And then after that, I'm pretty sure my boss will tell me to go away, go home, go somewhere else. And I will say, no, I will not do that because the prep list is not done. I'm not going to abandon my team like these fucking douchebags. And then I'll deal with cops, which are going to charge me for trespassing. And then I'll tell the cops, like, well, pull out a cutting board. Let's go ahead and, like, finish out this prep list. I'll leave when this prep list is done,
Yeah, like, how do we prevent you from dealing with the cops? Like, that's the stuff we want to learn.
Yeah.
Like, how to talk to them, like, let them know seriously, like, dude, you kind of fucked us yesterday. So, like, what's up? Like, what are you feeling? What are you not getting out of this? What do we, or what does our company need to do? And I know you're not biz or anything, but, like, why is this? Were y'all just partying together or whatever? Like, because this is how I take this job, and, like, getting that discussion and that communication, like, nonviolent communication. Which is really hard, but, like, how do you get your opinion out? Because that's what happens. Like, a lot of times people don't know how to talk, so they don't. And then they blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
I heard that,
I did it.
Yeah.
I recently am reading a book on disarming conflict, because I realize I have a problem with communication, and so therefore I should educate myself to be better at it.
Yeah.
And what I got out of this book was how people are going to try to disarm me,
Yeah.
like, okay, what tools are they going to use to try to calm me down? Like, now I know that because they should have probably read this book already,
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is it? Like, is it like a sense of passion that like drives me to like try to make other people around me better, or is it like a fact that I don't think they're disciplined enough to have integrity, to actually like, just do the job because it's an honorable profession that we work in.
Yeah.
It's honorable. The only like the most intimacy you could have with a stranger is either fighting, fucking, or feeding them,
Yeah.
And I'm in the industry of feeding them, so I guess I take a lot of pride in that, and I want other people who do this around me to do the same thing. If not, they could go make Happy Meals at McDonald's. I'm sure they're hiring,
Yeah. And that is like the thing, like understanding what they're there for, because it is so common in the industry for people just like, man, this is just a fucking job for me. Like, I'm only here for the paycheck, which makes it really hard for us that do put pride and integrity into what we're doing. So understanding that, and that's kind of like where that employment opportunity comes, where we can like vet people. Like, dude, you just there for a paycheck? Here's a dishwashing position. Here's this intermediary or whatever. Like, this is only seasonal. They're not going to be requesting much out of you, but if you fucking care, here's where you go to work. Like,
nice.
Here's who you work with.
That's a good like a flow of options there. Like, I'm glad you're trying to like segregate like the flow of options for people.
Yeah.
People need to work, people need to eat, and people need to like do a goddamn good job at what they do. So
Yeah.
good on you, Blaine, again for
Thanks,
trying
man.
to like take care of this.
And I never thought about that either. The idea of that possible like opportunity, like having you guys like getting employment opportunities. Yeah, being able to like divert the flows of the stream. So it's like, if you don't give a fuck, go to a place where it's okay for you not to give a fuck. And if you give a fuck, here's this. But,
or at least we can give you the warning, like, hey, this dude has some serious experience, but he's fucking burnt out and doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, so
I'm
you're
sitting
gonna
right
deal
here,
with
Blaine.
Yeah. His name's
I'm
Jeff.
a podcaster now.
But I mean, that's, and like, too, back to the communication part of it. Like, I mean, fuck with ska. Like, why I left, like, I got super pissed off because I thought I heard something
dude.
in it. It's like, and I feel like after I, called Jeremy and fucking bitched and I was like, calmed down after a few days. Like, man, I don't even know if that's what happened. I was so like high strung, didn't have the energy to like even think about the process, like how this should be handled. I was just like, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm out. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, and you like string on to these, like, I'm just waiting for that one little fucking thing, even if it's not real, but can I get out of it because of it? And like, and learning from that,
Yeah,
So,
and I mean,
good.
and it's the same too. And from my side, like that's kind of the problem I run into, and the big thing I've been working on is I'll dig myself in further than I actually am in a lot of situations, and then get overly stressed out, and I'll never blow up or like walk out, but I will get to a point where I'll overstress out and I'll have little bitch fits. And I'm like, wait, that's not even me. I'll fucking turn around and be like, that's fucking people with red shirts and fucking assholes. Look at that fucking guy over there in his red shirt with his stupid whore wife, and they're probably fucking just a bunch of assholes here on vacation. And it's like, what? Where did any of that fucking come from? What was the point of any of that? Why does my stress get diverted into these weird little bitch fits?
Well, that's not a bad one. Last night I was fantasizing like, how many 10-year-olds would it take to beat me up? If like
I would probably hopefully just one, because I wouldn't want to hit a 10-year-old. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, well, I was kind of in a mood. I was like, well, I could use the first 10-year-old to use him as a weapon towards all the other 10-year-olds, like swing around the helicopter style. I think I'd take like 40 10-year-olds if I really had like some conditioning, I guess.
I don't know, man. These days, you got 10-year-olds that already know jujitsu and shit. Dads are growing up like, I'm an MMA dad instead of a football dad. So instead of throwing the ball with the kid, I'm teaching him arm bars. And you grab the little kid and you're like, I'm going to use you. What the fuck? Get off of me.
So maybe 39. But that's seriously like something that I find myself like just zoning off thinking about, like when I'm really pissed off after a day of work, and that's a stress level I don't think is normal, but maybe I'm just like trying to invent like with my imagination instead of actually like swinging around a 10-year-old to like clobber like a fucking crowd of other 10-year-olds. You know,
I mean, if you do decide to swing a 10-year-old at other 10-year-olds, please videotape it. 'Cause I want to watch that. I'm not lying. I do want to watch that.
well, the day's still young.
Ooh, okay. This might be going too far, but I bet you could tie one's legs to another one and make like 10-year-old nunchucks.
Oh, that's not a bad
You gotta
idea.
have some height for sure.
Yeah,
Maybe for your height, you could do that.
yeah. You got to be tall and they got to be short, real short 10-year-olds. No growth spurts yet.
All right, give me a pen. I'm going to write this idea down. Or an Etch-a-Sketch. Give me an Etch-a-Sketch. I could draw it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that stress level is not normal. You know, like I don't think it's normal. It's normal for me, but it's not like what it should be, right? I mean,
I fully agree with you. Like, and that was this is probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I tried going to a therapist at one time. You know, like, and I'm all about them now. But the first one I went to, and this is such a common problem, is like I went and talked to her, and she's like, "We'll go through a day in the life." And this was whenever I was sous chef over at Carver's, which was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like 1,500 covers a day, and everybody calling in from breakfast to dinner. You know, so it was fucking long ass days. And I went through my normal day as sous chef, and she just goes, "Oh," like, "Whoa." I was like, "What?" Like, you can't fucking say that as a therapist. Like,
that automatically means you're not
I
qualified
need
to
to
deal
go
with
see
me.
my therapist.
Who's your
now.
boss?
exactly. So like, that is the problem, is like finding that right person to talk to, because like, and that was what was cool really whenever we started in the weeds, like just doing the groups. We had a counselor buddy, Rowan Blaisdell here in town, who does psychotherapy. He has a podcast, Therapy for Humans, which is also a lot of shit talk. It's really good.
Just for humans?
Yeah, therapy. Yeah, right. But he was a chef for 15 years, and so like having him there at the support groups and understanding what everybody was going through, like really broke through for some people, and that was awesome. So
Nice.
finding those connections, which is few and far between. You know, like we got fucking lucky with that. So
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Blaine, just because when I was a much younger, well, I wouldn't have called myself a chef, and I don't know if I still really do necessarily, but when I was a lot younger, I think something like In the Weeds would actually be really beneficial. However, with the way that the kitchen is set up, is there a way that you would suggest somebody that doesn't want to come off as looking like a sissy or whatever in a kitchen setting would come and ask for help? Because that would have been the harder part, in my opinion, as a younger employee, chef, whatever.
Yeah, like that is totally the challenge, and I kind of did it that one day with Steamworks. Like that's where I try to work in, like going and talking to people face to face, because it is the challenge. That is the hardest part, like taking that first step of like noting that you have a problem.
Yeah, a little bit of humility, basically, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's where it comes into like the management training. Like if your manager is totally cool with how to handle that situation to where you feel comfortable to talk to that manager, because how many times did you want to talk about something, but you knew that your chef would be like, fucking bury it with a bottle of whiskey, man. Like, I don't give a shit about your pussy stuff. Like, like leave it at the door, fucking get back to the line. So like training management on that is huge. And then for you as a person, just like getting out there and looking, there's several like Facebook groups that are helpful where you can go on there anonymously, you know, and these different routes, you know. Luckily with technology these days, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do this, you know, back in 2007 even, you know, like Facebook
it's
was
a whole
still
different
fresh.
world now. Yeah.
So and that's, I think the younger generation too now is like seeing that, you know, seeing the outcomes of us.
we're seeing all the bad examples.
Or like, dude, that guy can kill a bottle of whiskey. That's not cool, actually.
This guy's super cool. Watch him drink. 17 shots later. Oh my God. He's been crying for like 3 hours. I don't even know what he's upset about. everything.
The color blue.
Color blue, yeah. That asshole in the red shirt with his whore wife.
And that's what. But seriously, like that's what we're starting to see is like there are a lot of suicides, and you know, not to go into a dark spot, but like the suicides are happening. Bourdain was like the first, you know, like eye opener for a lot of the industry, but like, it is happening. I was talking to an owner of one of the restaurants, and he's like, dude, I'm not about it. I'm not about talking about my fucking feelings. And I know that's an issue. And all my buddies that have been in the industry forever, they're all starting to fucking die. Either from alcohol or substance abuse or from suicide.
Yeah.
And it is a thing, and I get it. And so what you need to do, this is a need. It's just I'm too far gone. You know, like that is the older generation right now. And the younger generation, I think, is starting to see that. And but it is still hard. So.
They need some better role models, I suppose. You know, I mean, we had our old role models like back in the day. You know, like the dinosaurs of the kitchen. You know, like hot cuisine, whatever. You know.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, like as a kind of experienced cook, you never let an ace walk out the door. You know, if you have an ace on your team, you figure out a way to keep that ace. You know, whatever it takes. Because there's too many kids who are trying to do like the job that they are not able to. Yeah. But whenever you see an ace, like however you can calm them down, however you could just chat with them for a minute. You know, maybe give them like a day off if they need it, something like that. You never let an ace walk out the door.
Yeah, and that's that's part of it too, is learning when to give out a little bit, like give some of your energy to help someone. Will they reciprocate that? You know, because too often I've done it before. It's just like help someone out too much, and then they're taking advantage of you. Like so, watching those and like learning how to deal with that, and it's experience, and it's exhausting. That's a lot of times why we resort back to these like, dude, I don't fucking care. Just cook the fucking steak. Yeah. That's all I care about right now. Like
the ends, not the means, you know.
Yeah, and because you're so exhausted. I mean, that's like what really led me down a dark path of alcohol. Was like I was spending so much time on the team and not on myself. Like to where my ex left. Like we were together for 4.5 years. She's like, I'm fucking out. Like you're not even here. You won't even talk. You know. She's like, we need to talk about stuff in July, which is the heat of busy season here. Yeah. She's like, can we talk? It's like, can we talk in October? Like, she goes,
I'll schedule you in.
Like, I literally need 3 months. So.
And unfortunately, that's a very true statement, too. Depending on, of course, where you live in the country, it may be not July, but I think probably a good portion it would still be that same time. Come back to me when I'm out of the busy season, because right now that's all I can focus on.
Exactly.
I can't do big life changes right now.
And she left in September. Like,
damn it.
2 more weeks.
2 more weeks and we could have talked. I had it on the calendar and everything. I had a Monday off.
Well, half a Monday.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other funny or hard part about the industry that a lot of people that aren't in the industry don't understand is you don't have a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. Your week could change weekly, or it could be completely set, way weird where you have like a Monday and then a Thursday off or whatever. There is no set schedule for a kitchen staff
or you could be living the dream and finally make it, and you're a chef now. In which case, your schedule is all the time. It's just on the schedule, and every day just says day.
And that too, like that's talking about like, getting into the nonprofit industry, going into it. It's fucked. Like compared to our lives, like. Going into it, and they're like, well, you need to come up with some consistency. Like, fuck you. You know what consistency is in the schedule? Like, so my consistency, like, at Carver's was like, I could guarantee, my time alone was from midnight to 4 a.m. That's when I wasn't getting a phone call, or I didn't have to respond to a phone call,
Yeah, I recently had to draw some boundaries, because I am not, like, in a, management position at all. But I told my bosses, okay, do not call me before 7 a.m. or after 7 p.m. unless it's a fucking emergency or you want to have a beer, because, like, I have other things going on. So just letting you know, just don't do that, you know?
Yeah. And learning, and it is so hard because it is like our big money making times are the holidays, the weekends, all that. So I'm not asking any employers to, adjust accordingly or whatever. Like those are the money making times.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we create this consistency? And that's as management or owners or the big bosses who are doing the scheduling, like spend that a little extra time and energy of getting creative with it and getting these deals, like being as consistent as possible. You were awesome at it at SCA.
You can do it. It
like,
and that's the thing. Like you said, it just takes that little bit of extra effort to, don't think. And that was kind of always my rule is like, I don't think of the people by their names, but I think of everyone as people.
Yeah.
So I try to think about that. Like, I don't think of you by your name, so I'm not going to be like, nah, this dude's my bro and he works this shift, or like, so it's, but I do try to think of everyone as people. So I try to avoid the like, this guy shouldn't work 12 days in a row and then have 1 day off and then work 4 more days and have 1 day off.
Wait a minute, we're people?
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that's what your sous chef is for. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's there to hold everything together when you're not there,
And that's as I've been making like our handbook and our policy, like our employee handbook and all that, and it's like everybody that works for me, I'm not gonna give like normal holidays off. Like I'm not gonna be that asshole boss. Like, hey, you can take the holidays off, but the people we serve work holidays. So like I want to initiate that too, and like have the same amount of days off in each year. Like if there's 12 paid holidays, then you get 12 paid days off. But I want to work on the holidays. Like I want to be in the shit with everybody.
I don't remember ever getting a paid day off. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's the other benefit of nonprofits. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at SCA, like going to SCA, and they're like,
Oh,
"Yeah, you
God,
get paid
I love
holidays."
that.
Like,
That was
Really?
that was the biggest part of like for me transitioning to ska, because I'd come from before ska. I was at the Strader for a little while, but then before that was Texas, and I was just I was going all the time there. I was head chef of a place for a while, and so that was like, the 90-hour weeks and like opening the door, closing the door, all that bullshit. And, like you said, like there's a few hours, like 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. And Kim, also my wife, was in the industry too, but she was a fucking breakfast cook. So it was the complete opposite. It would be like, I'd get home and she would do stuff so that she could wake up at like midnight. And it's like she's pounding coffee and I'm sitting there like pounding booze, like fuck all this. And she's like, yeah, I know, I'm about to go cook eggs for the next fucking 8 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, that it's not healthy. And that's why that was why ska was such a light, kind of shining light for me, because they're like, paid holidays, you don't really have to do shit.
yeah,
Just hang back and do your work. But people like us, we still find a way of like accidentally digging ourselves too far in. It's like, I'm here to wear a t-shirt and cook happily. What's going on over there? No, you're doing that wrong. No, I need to help with that. No, okay. No, just let me take that. I'll just do that now.
Well, that's not how you breed wild a fucking shallot.
Yeah.
yeah. And that was, how, and not to bash on that place of employment, but it was the lack of communication from the upper. We had that mentality, like they don't give a fuck about the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, and it was all brewery, which is understandable in a sense, like from that, they are brewers.
Yeah.
But that's what I learned is like, dude, you can offer all these like fiscal, like these financial benefits to everybody. Paid holidays, 401ks, health insurance, all that shit was fucking awesome. And I think key, but the lack of communication is also just as equally important.
Yeah.
Like, I could go and not work or not get all those benefits, and my chef like work with me and do all that stuff, and that would be just as happy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've been that chef, or I've worked for that chef before. Like I didn't get shit from him, but we talked about shit, and they helped.
The wolf is the best example still. my favorite boss to date. We didn't get paid holidays. We didn't get paid for shit other than the work we did. We got paid for the work we did. You know, we got paid decent. We got drinks. He took good care of us, but, you know, he was there. He was there with us 100% of the way.
Yep.
He was he was honest with us 100% of the way. He was straightforward with us. One of the guys, he was right there beside us no matter what. And, you know, still, even though, you know, I work at a place now where it's like paid holidays and paid vacations and all this, it's like still that's the, you know, the best boss I have ever had is that dude, because, you know, he's honest.
Yeah,
I will say so too, and I do hope we do have Wolf coming up like one of these fucking Sundays.
Yes.
You know, that guy knew the ins and outs of every piece of machinery in that place. You know, although I knew like when he bought the organization or the company, he did not know how to rewire a faulty fucking pilot light in a fryer, but he figured it out because that's his machine. You know,
Yeah.
and he kind of treat us all like that piece of machine as well. You know, I mean, well, I don't know like fucking Dusty, I don't know Jeff, but like, well, let's figure him out. And guess what? You know, like after a few drinks, like he'd be all down like to go play some Call of Duty with us after work or whatever.
Yeah, he was hanging out with us all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories is him. We had a little bit of downtime, and we were on the lunch break, and he came over to my house because my house was right up the street from the restaurant. So basically, that was the spot we would all come. Like, if you have an hour off or so, just pop by the fucking Blue House.
nice.
You know, come into my place or chill with Shaka, our neighbor upstairs. Like, just come chill. You've got your break time. There's some video games. You know, there's some beer in the fridge. There's food. There's
Fuck yeah.
do yourself, get yourself happy. And one day we were chilling and we had a good couple hour break. And the Wolf, the boss man, came over. The owner came over with us, and Jeffro, who was our front of the house dude, but who was a friend too, he packed up a bong, and it made this one look tiny. But you know, we were young. I was young back then, so the bongs were much bigger. And he passes it to me, and I'm holding it, and you know, the boss looks up and he's like, "Don't be afraid to hit it or anything, dude. Like, you do what you're gonna do." And I was like, I'm not. I was just thinking about it. It's a fucking huge bomb.
This thing's intimidating, man.
This thing's intimidating. The
girth.
I'm gonna take a pull or two off of this, but I gotta cook people dinner later.
I remember that first kitchen job I had. I started out as dish pit, but it was my buddy who I just helped move back to Arkansas. So that's like, it's really sad actually. But my best friend now, but he was my first kitchen manager, and he's like, dude, you can show up on whatever you want. You can be high as fuck, whatever, as long as you can work. And I was like 19. The first time I ever did acid, I showed up to my shift. I didn't know I was on acid because I had blacked out the night before.
Accidentally, you're on acid.
A funny hangover.
I was really confused. It was like, I don't know what's going on, man. Something's up, though. And it was Friday night, and fucking, like, our first little pop came, and all the burgers just melted into the grill.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, set the spatulas down. I was like, dude, Ethan, burgers just melted in the grill. And he looked at me, he goes, oh, motherfucker. And he goes, go outside and stare at the tree, and come back in 30 minutes. And came back in and finished out the night. And he's like,
that's understanding.
yeah. He's like, you can't call in for anything now. I was like, oh, fuck. All right. You know, but I don't know, like a couple months later or something, so, the new dishwasher had the best weed in town or whatever. And it took a rip, and I could not work, like, at all. I couldn't. And my manager, he's like, are you fucking serious? You can work on acid, but you can't fucking cook a burger on weed? Like,
I can't do it.
I'm sorry, man. The spatulas are heavy, you know?
I keep making them. I keep eating them.
But that was like, you know, like, that's the traditions of the industry. It's like,
For
you know,
sure.
that's some of the
Good.
places. Like, I don't fucking care. If you can cook, you can be here, whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It used to be about the ends, not the means, you know?
Yeah.
Now, these days, it seems it's a lot about the means. I think that's due to a lot of, like, celebrity cooking shows or whatever. Like, oh, I've got to like master the art of Bushido blade before you even like cook this fucking sashimi for you.
Yeah,
and
I totally agree with that. Like, there is all the chef's tables and all that shit. Like, which is awesome. Like, I love those shows because they influence like positivity.
Yeah,
whereas before is like rockstar lifestyle, and literally like our substance abuse like data in the nation is higher than that of rock stars. Like,
damn.
Like,
oh shit,
we're number 3, they're number 4.
That's
like,
probably my fault.
But it's crazy. Like, that's the industry, and we're starting to see those outcomes. Like, how does it pay off? Like, it doesn't fucking pay off, man. Like, what'd you get in your career as a chef? 2 divorces, 3 kids, and an alcohol use. Like alcohol.
And don't talk to me about the IRS.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I'm totally good. I just need to stay away from brown liquors, clear liquors, pills,
translucent liquors,
downers, mixers, pretty much anything smokable and needles. Other than that, you keep me away from those things, I am a solid, normal, regular dude.
with 5 breakdowns daily.
5 breakdowns daily.
already today.
And also, side note, if you have a needle, I will suck your dick right now.
I thought it smelled fucking opium somewhere.
Yeah. Oh God, but yeah, I mean that is kind of the truth, and that was a big part of my motivation to basically stop just piddling around and fucking around and start doing this shit, and actually trying to do creative shit was Bourdain, like you mentioned. That was a big eye opener, and instantly all of a sudden the thought couldn't help but come across my mind to look at the old schoolers and see okay, so the fucking glory options of this job are now either to you're gone, or you're fucking gone, or you have a heart attack and you get fat, or you turn into a total douchebag and fucking you're that guy. And honestly, if you were to ask me right now, would you rather be fucking TV, like one of the real douchebags, like a fucking a Guy Fieri or something? Like, would you rather be Guy Fieri or would you rather be dead? It's probably gonna be,
as long as I'm not Bobby Flay.
Oh shit! Bring it, bitch.
Yeah, that was it is crazy. Like, a couple years after the lady left, I went to 6 months of powering through Jameson bottles, and then realized, okay, this isn't good. I need to get the fuck out of here. And I took a break, went out to Wisconsin and worked that summer. But before I got the job in Wisconsin, I hit up my buddy who was chef de cuisine or something at Alinea there in Chicago. And I was like, I'll fucking hit him up, see if I can get in there, because that'd be fucking cool. And called him up. He's like, yeah, dude, get me in there. He goes, man, I'm not there anymore. Probably getting into another spot. But 2 weeks ago, they worked me so hard that my lung collapsed. And I was 28. He would have been 26. He's 26 years old. Jeez. And he's like, yeah, man, fuck that place. They're going to work you. You're going to work 17 hours a day. So you're not going to have time to take your staff meal. You're going to run, scream, jump, blah, 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 all day. And you don't even learn shit. All the chefs are so busy competing with each other that they don't teach you shit. And it's fucking brutal, man. He goes, I'll get you into the French Laundry. That'll be fucking good. They're cool, but, and that's what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's going are you auditioning for the Marine Corps just because you want to cook food? I mean,
the great dick measuring.
Yeah. I guess the old school part of me says well, that's why you have 2 lungs, so you could afford one collapsing,
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And the new school part of me says there's more to life than just fucking cooking, serving, and killing yourself to do this,
Yeah.
I realized recently that fucking a sandwich is not Iwo Jima. It sounds crazy to a lot of people, But a lot of people that have cooked for a long time will pretty much understand that. Like, you know, we can all take it that way. Like, I will fucking die and to get this fucking 8-top fed if that's what it takes.
Yeah.
I've lost sight in my left eye. I can't smell things anymore, but I'm gonna
I just
get the
cauterized
food
2
out.
of my fingers.
Yeah. Like, this, you know what? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's not fucking Iwo Jima. There's not going to be a flag. There's not going to be a statue of me putting a fucking steak in the window, like, in memory of Dusty, who conquered the 8-top.
Putting the one toothpick on the hamburger, you know.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, and there is a bit when I was out there in Wisconsin, I worked with all these phenomenal chefs. It was amazing, and we did this big farm dinner. It was like 120 people. It was out on Frank Lloyd Wright's farm, who's a big architect, whatever, not that big of a deal. But the chef, come to find out, was like just getting over leukemia or some like detrimental disease like that, and he was like fucked up on meds, not like painkiller, like hardcore.
Like keep your life meds.
Yeah. And so we kind of find that out like during this farm dinner, like, holy shit, man. Like, so I'm trying to keep him together and like help him, whatever, while the rest of the crew's like on site getting the food done and plated and all that with his sous chef. And we're sitting there and it's like tweezer food, you know, like we have 240 of these little like cantaloupe dessert things. It was all like molecular gastronomy shit, you know, and fucking he's just taking his time, and I'm like, dude, we're already like 30 fucking minutes behind this course. Like, people are freaking the fuck out, and we had to like deliver it a mile down the road, you know. Jeez. And all this. I am freaking the fuck out, and he's just there like taking his time, like gone. He's like, finally he could like sense my stress, and he's like, dude, and he's like, keep doing what you're doing, you're good. But it took me going into surgery with a 5% chance of living, and as I was going in, seeing my sister run down the hospital hallway to come say her final goodbye to me, to realize like how important life is. He goes, now this is my life. Like, this cooking is my life, and I care about it. And I used to get so stressed and so angry, but I realized how important it was, and I want to share that with the world. He goes, so these people will get fed. Like, they will get fed, but I want them to understand my flavors and my heart and soul that I put into this. And I can't do that stressed out. I can't put that energy into it. And I was like sitting there like, oh my God, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever fucking heard. Like, damn, like, can you please repeat that to the 120 people though? Like,
I feel like I just got secondhand schooled.
Yeah, you know, like, it was really cool. And like, I you know, for some people, yes, like getting out of the industry is necessary. But for those that are in it, like, I think it can be a really beautiful place to be, and like the happiness you can spread, or like just like whenever you have that fucking meal that's so good, whether it's chicken wings or that filet mignon, or you know, whatever the hell is going on out there in these big fine dining restaurants, like, they can be life changers for folks, or just that one little thing that they need.
Oh, I heard that for sure. I do believe, like, you know, the industry is in full color, full HD spectrum to me, where I think every other industry in the whole wide world, call me fucking whatever you want, is black and white. You know, this industry that we know is the one that I know, and it appeals to all of my 5 senses. It appeals to like all 3 dimensions. I mean, it's an art and it's a craft. It's like fucking every goddamn thing that I ever want in life, and that's why I'm stuck with it. But I don't mind making money on this side as far as like fucking using my brain, my imagination, or like my fucking stupid ass mouth.
Well, I mean, they're outlets too, you know, like that's what I've been playing D&D with buddies the past year. Like, I was never into D&D, and that shit was awesome. It was like, I could get the fuck out of the world for a little bit, like go into your own reality.
We need to get you and Kyle over here for a game of G&D.
Oh, the gangsters? Yeah, the
gangsters. Gangsters and Dragons.
Yeah. Well, I totally want to do that.
Yeah.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming, yeah.
Yeah, because we just lost our DM. He moved back to Arkansas, so our DM is gone. Which Kyle and them know how to DM, but like, you know, we're definitely going to be looking for another group or whatever.
Yeah, looking for a group.
Yo, Timmy, like, what was the name of your character in G&D?
Oh man, shoot, I don't remember something McJunkie or something.
Yeah. No,
It was
he was
definitely
a
Irish
junkie.
themed.
He was, yeah, it was good though. God, I don't remember. It's probably written down somewhere.
It
Patty
is.
McSmacky or
Oh, Patio Smack.
Yes.
Patio Smack,
like
the Irish junkie. And weren't you super short too? Weren't you like 4'3" or something?
it was either super short or super tall. I don't remember which one it was, but it was definitely an interesting mix of things. And he was a drug-addled arsonist, basically.
Yeah.
So it was a
Aren't we all?
good. Well, I mean, it does work with the industry, but
Yeah.
that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, Jeff was
Patty McSmack?
Squints.
Yeah, like I was the one like samurai, like 5
Yeah.
foot,
It's a
5 foot
little
even.
Yakuza assassin.
Yeah, and because I'm an asshole, I call him Squints.
Squints, yeah. And we're working. We're working. The game is still completely a work in progress, but
Yeah.
it's starting very D&D and it's progressively like working its way into something completely unique. Like, because there are points in it that are like there's mini games kind of that you don't really see in D&D. Like, you can just go break dance. You can go get into some break dancing. It's like, dance off.
What do you have in your
Dance off?
supply pack? And it's like a big piece of cardboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
I can set up a breakdance at any time.
Anytime.
I don't know. My character's go-to was always to shit himself to cause a distraction. That was
Yeah.
go-to move,
Yeah.
you know?
So there's
try to rob a
actually
bank,
rules
we'll
for
go
that.
and have, like, fucking-
Timmy had me develop right off the bat pretty much rules for how you rob a convenience store by shitting yourself to cause a distraction. I shit myself in my pants. No one really seems to notice. Well, then I take off my underwear and start throwing them around the room. Okay, people are really noticing now.
And that's how you get a free soda.
You get a free soda.
And kicked out for life, but whatever. You know?
Yeah.
You got that one free soda.
Yeah.
Well, or 40 ounce of Mickey's or something.
Yeah.
You know? Make it real.
Was it Mad Dog 2020? That's
Dog
what my buddy was.
2020, yeah.
Grape.
We're going down that route, dude.
Yeah.
We're going like Night Train or Cisco. We go down
Yeah.
the bum wine.
Old English.
Yeah.
Damn. I haven't seen a 40 or Old English in Colorado yet. Like, I don't think they sell 40s of Old English.
I don't think they sell OE in anything but 40s, do they?
I've only ever seen it in 40s.
I think so too.
I think they
I really
should
see
convince.
40s around. Maybe I just don't look for them anymore.
Yeah, they're hidden in the back alleys.
Well, I need to visit new back alleys.
New back alleys. I
No
want to
homo.
see. I want to see Sean Connery make it his own malt liquor and make 40s and call it Old Scottish.
I mean, I might just be getting old, but up until Halloween of last year, I don't think I remember seeing a 40 for a long time. 'Cause I haven't drank a 40 in a while. There's that kid that went as Edward 40 Hands.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I remember a kid
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
that was the last time I saw a 40 in probably the last 5-10 years.
Yeah, that
I
was,
mean, other than of course in a store, but yeah.
yeah, I think it's been about 10 years for me because it was like that was like the low point of everything. Whereas like we have money to buy dinner or 40s. Like, we're going 40s.
Oh yeah,
Like if you
Oh,
drink
I
them
mean-
fast enough, you're full.
yeah.
I
And
drank so many 40-ounce Mickeys that when I was like 18, 19, 20, we almost started a band called Mickey's Fueled Riot Squad because we literally just drank Mickeys.
Because you were that drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Salem, Oregon. When I lived in Salem, Oregon, and I'd say that was a real dark point in my life. You know, before I got with Kim, long before that. But like, yeah, I had a fucking dingy little house in the ghetto right across the street from the college, and yeah, we'd be in that situation so much that I recall various times I stole a shopping cart to take bottles back, 40 bottles back, and we get them done, and we're like, what can we afford? It's like, we need this, this, and this. It's like, okay, we're going to get a pint of orange chicken and 2 packs of ramen. Half of the orange chicken is lunch. The other half goes in the ramen for dinner. And I'm going to cop 3 or 4 40s on the way home. We're going to get smashed.
Yeah, because what y'all had, like, was it like 10 cents a bottle or something like that?
10 cents a bottle.
It started out 5. I think it probably moved up to 10.
Oh, and no, it was 5 back in those days. Because it was a legit, like,
Arkansas.
A legit shopping cart. At one point, I remember we had, the picture's lost in time, but I basically made a race cart out of a fucking shopping cart because of all the beer that I had to take back, all the bottles, and I didn't have a car. And I was like, well, it's a quarter mile to a half mile away through town, and I've got this shopping cart, and it's full, and it's full on bottom. So I started hanging boxes off of the side, so it totally looked like a NASCAR, where it was like just a box of empty bottles with a Keystone or fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon 12-pack hanging down on the side.
Damn, I wish we would have been able to meet back in the day, because I was making beast armor out of 12 packs, 24 cases. After a party, when I was 18 or 19, we'd just start carving these cardboard boxes out to make armor, like shoulder pads or helmets with mohawks. We'd put fucking the old cans in as mohawks or as spikes out of the armor.
Yeah,
it's a good thing we didn't meet back in your day.
Yeah.
Did you ever do the wizard staffs to see who could get the most cans stacked up without them falling off? You tape them up, but after a certain number, inevitably they fall over anyways.
Yeah, what was that?
Never did that one.
God, all those games.
Oh
man, I'm hungover just thinking
just
about it.
Thinking about it, man. Old me cannot drink like young me could.
And young me makes fun of old me because I'm even thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, thinking back on it, old fucking young me, yeah. I mean, old me is a total pussy. who, as I mentioned earlier, occasionally gets into bitch fits. So,
yeah. And young you is making fun of you for that.
Yeah, young me, if young me saw me, he would find a way to take all of my money, and then he would probably fuck my wife.
And go get a 40.
And go get a 40, yeah. He'd be like, look at this fucking Howley.
Jeez, nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great talk so far. Do you guys want to have a little intermission?
Yeah, let's take a quick intermission. I think we lost video, but who video's not important anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to look at me either.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll be back after a quick word from our sponsors. Hi, folks.
Still Jeff.
Yeah. All right. Oh, whoa.
That was dangerous.
I know, you almost got Mike in the mouth.
You pushed the table to... And, well, hell, we'll still search for truth here. And
yeah, did you hear me calling out on what you told me when you were giving me shit about worrying about the video?
Oh, yeah.
It's a podcast.
I mean, you could literally loop a thing of Ghostface licking his nuts for video if you wanted to.
It's a fucking audio, yeah. It's not like we have Harry touring us around Japan or something.
Yeah, we're not that cool
I
today.
know.
No offense, Blaine.
You should have had video before you didn't have the video of Japan.
I know.
Oh, I still have it.
Okay. That was the first. Me too. That was the first time we did the whole Skype or friends come for the video chat thing. So
yeah, it's the future.
You
man.
kind of have an idea, and I don't know. Do you know how to do video capture on your laptop?
I don't even know what the fuck you just said.
Yeah.
I do not. But I did figure out how to do it through Skype, so now we can Skype on each other all the time.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know what
I
that
actually
means.
have to get a camera set up for my computer. I don't have.
It's probably illegal. I mean, you guys
camera.
Skype on each other. Wait, you guys are both over 18. Okay, that's fine.
You can Skype on whoever you want, Jeff. It's 2020.
Shit.
And on that note, we are back.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I forgot the camera stopped working, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. Wave at it anyway. It's still looking at us into our souls.
Yep, and I'm still Jeff.
Still Dusty.
And still with our guest, Blaine Baley.
Yo.
Who is a champion of the whole In the Weeds project here, you know. I mean, seriously, I applaud you for actually giving a fuck, you know.
Yes.
Thanks, man. I mean, and that's like what we were just talking about on our break was like, it's just doing it, you know. And what you guys are doing with the podcast is awesome. Like, you're actually just doing it. And like here in these spots, it's like people talk about it. Oh, that's a great idea. But also in our industry, like, what kind of fucking time do we have to do it? And having that work ethic in our industry of just like, we're always used to working so fucking much. So it was like, you know what? Yeah, I can do this. I've worked 2 jobs, worked 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Like, this is just the third job.
Yeah, it's just the third job. Except for it's a really fun one. For some reason, I like this one a lot. Yeah.
I don't have hot grease popping on me all fucking day. So,
Yeah.
I don't smell like smoked salmon right now. What do you know?
Yeah.
but, yeah, that work ethic is huge. And I think that's one thing that people don't recognize with our industry folks is, like, we do work our asses off. And we will show up. We'll do it. Like, as much as people don't show up, as much 3 people don't show up for your job, but we have that resiliency and that strength. And, so
Yeah, task oriented, and you know that sense of integrity. You know, I mean, you may have had like the fucking weirdest, craziest, stupidest night before. However, you know that you're dedicated to your team to achieve an objective. You know, the objective is to make other people satisfied. Or at least content, you know.
Yeah.
And also, too, there's it has to be acknowledged that there is something major in the high that you get from crushing it with a really good like when it's, you know, we all talk about the shit nights and the nights we get our asses creamed, but there are those nights where like they're beating you down, but you're just fucking taking it. Your team is just crushing it, and you're giving it as hard as you're getting it. You know, those are the nights that I honestly wonder. Like, I've really wanted to sit down with like a fucking Roman gladiator and a UFC fighter and be like, "Is this at all like it? Am I just like projecting, or is this totally like the same thing you get when like they came at me 100-fold and I fed every goddamn one of them?"
No, there's exactly like I miss the shit out of that. Like having that team, those solid teams. Whenever you get that team built, it is fucking amazing. I see it as like, you know, on a symphony for me. And also, like Buddy, see it as battle. You know, like going into battle. My breakfast chef years ago, he's like, "Dude, I feel like shit, but we're getting ready for battle. Like, it's Saturday brunch. Fuck
Game
these
on.
people. We're taking them down, and we're taking them down with food.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know, I feel like ultimately it's basically the best. I think the best reference, actual visual and audio reference to like truly crushing it in a kitchen scenario is Apocalypse Now. Because it is a combination of symphony and fucking
Destruction.
and war and destruction with a little bit of comedy there. Charlie don't fucking surf. Yeah, don't mind the dishwasher. Don't mind him. He quotes old fucking Kubrick movies.
You know, like my favorite line out of that whole one is like from a very young like Lawrence Fishburne. And like he's in the trenches or whatever, and Martin Sheen comes up like, "Who's your CO?" And very young Lawrence Fishburne is like, "Ain't you it?"
Yeah. And that is something to say. Like the kitchen brigade is based off the military brigade.
Yeah.
Like that's how it all started. Like they had that system. So I think that's why like a lot of that like morale around who you are, and that's something I've talked about in the past. Like I got out of a health equity training, like, and this is on the nonprofit side of things, like talking about health equity and what everybody goes through or whatever. But shit, I just lost it. That
The brigade system?
Yeah, the brigade system. Like, so what's really cool, I think, about the industry, and to kind of go off on a tangent, like with all racism and sexism that's going on in the world, like what I think about what's cool in the industry is like people, and there is still, I'm not going to dismiss the fact that there's still racism, sexism in the industry, but like nobody really gives a fuck what you look like, if you got a dick or a pussy, like whatever you have. If you can get through that Friday night rush, I don't give a shit. Like, that's all that matters. Like, we are getting through this rush together. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what the person next to me is. As long as they can flip that fucking burger or whatever. Like, you get so tight. And that's one thing I've seen that's really cool.
That's the camaraderie. Like, that's what makes us all a family in this industry.
And that's what takes it from regular soldiers to pirates, which is truly the best example of what like working in a restaurant is like, because it is like, even if you're fucking, a good example is like, say you're corporate, like, we're the Benihana's crew. It's like every Benihana's crew is guaranteed like slightly different and doesn't trust the next one. Like, we're our own ship over here at Northern Milwaukee Benihana's. Fuck the Southern Milwaukee Benihana's, right their assholes. They always need chopped veggies.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I like the best, though, is you could literally be standing next to somebody that graduated from Harvard on one side and a functioning crackhead on the other, and you find a way to make it work.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we do.
And as long as everybody shows up and does it, it works out. You know what I mean? That's what's super cool to me about the restaurant industry.
Yeah, that's
indeed.
I was trained, my first grill position, I was trained by a meth head. And people like restaurants are like, how do you do that so quick? Like, dude, I was trained by meth, basically. Like,
I thought he was a normal dude. I was trying to keep up.
So instead of a mentor, you had a mentor.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually, and that was part of what propelled me into the industry, was I fucking scored on my first actual restaurant job, right? Because I had no form of experience. And walked in the door, and they were hiring cooks, bussers, and they were remodeling. And I walked in, and I had zero form of fucking restaurant experience. But I had been working construction on, like, lifestyles of the rich and famous houses for the last 4 years. So they're like, you can do this and this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, I can do all of that shit.
Right,
like, do you guys want some fancy fucking, like, I think you should probably get some fucking nice wood in there if you're going with this color. And right away the owner was just like, boom, lady boner. And I got the job right away. And once they were done remodeling, it was like, where do we put this kid? And, I think I was maybe, and that was my first real, that's maybe like 17, 18. No, I think I was 18 at the time. And got put as a busser. And I was running circles around all the other bussers because I had grown up in construction and landscape. And I had to be, I've been working since I was like 14. When I was fucking 17 or 18, I had 2 jobs. I was working construction, and then I would get off and go throw an apron over my, like, cement-stained clothes and wash dishes for 4 or 5 hours. Like, I just was taught to go hard. So
that's
right away I got put in the kitchen, and I had 2 chefs, both equally badass. One from the East Coast, one from New York, and the other one was from L.A., and they were equally badass. They were best friends for like fucking 35 years, who constantly flip-flop basically between who was chef and sous chef of whatever restaurant they were at. And they always fought because they are, exact opposites as far as cooking. But both of those guys saw me and kind of got that, like, I never got to have kids feeling, so I got both of these badasses just, New York style, like, we don't take fucking shit off of anybody, kid. You hear that? Fucking anybody. West Coast guys just like, oh, okay, did he tell you how to cook fish? Did that fucking guy try to tell you how to cook fish? Okay, so listen, here's the thing is, don't listen to the fucking New York guy try to tell you how to cook fish, because
And that's how we make it a family.
yeah,
Yeah.
We've got parents like that every now and then.
yeah.
Yeah, I started off very similar. I was construction. Well, it was pretty ironic. Like, my first kitchen job, I was 14 or 15, and it was like a pizza joint. I was there for 2 weeks, and this is in Arkansas, like in our small bunk-ass town. And I was there for 2 weeks. My dad came in. He goes, I got you a real man's job. You can go ahead and quit this job working for the construction company. It's like, all right, whatever. You know, like, I didn't know any better, whatever. And then now here I am, like, the restaurant industry is my career. And it's kind of funny. Like, it's like, I got the real job now, Dad. Like,
It's a real thing.
it's the one I started out in.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I came from a pre-construction background to cooking as well, you know. But I know Timmy, yours was like welding before you started cooking.
No, I did welding at one of my sabbaticals from the kitchen to try to get out.
First escape attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much started in the kitchen and stayed through, and then every 5 to 10 years it was time to try something else, and more than likely I'd come back to the kitchen.
So now you're good at a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades. I'm good at a lot and not great at anything.
I call that a Jeff of all trades.
Yeah. We do have your
There you
True
go.
TV show coming out on Straightened Knee whenever True TV picks it up. The reality show about your leg situation.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
I will never bend the knee.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm sorry. You know?
Yeah.
Although I can't now. I mean, so unfortunately it's not the case anymore, but yeah, there's a good couple of weeks or months where I just couldn't. Sorry. It's not going to happen.
I'm not the only part of me that's stubborn. My knee's more stubborn than I am.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
look,
that's
it won't
crazy.
even bend when I ask it to. Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like getting back to kind of the start of it or whatever. Like, I think so many of us have tried to get out of the industry and come back, and either it's because we're really good at it or actually passionate about it or just need that little break to clear up. But one thing, you know, and that's kind of, if we're got to talk about like how we kind of got started, like in the weeds got started, is like first like discussion about it was back in 2015, I guess.
Wow, all right. So a hot minute ago.
Yeah, and it was like real short and brief. It was like over a month, but I was there at Carver's, and one of the guys who worked for me, he passed away from overdose, and we had been working with him, like having that communication and whatnot, and it was really intense. Like it was a Durango local, Donnie Grotz, amazing dude, just super peaceful, happy dude. But he passed away, and one of the other guys working for me, who's my co-founder, John Rowe, he's up in Fort Collins now, but he was graduating from psychology that like shortly after that summer, and I was joking with him like, dude, you should talk about like therapy for chefs after you graduate, you know. And we're like, haha, yeah, that's some fucking shit, you know. Like,
Who
Too
would
big
do
of a
that?
project.
Yeah.
Way too big of a project.
and that was literally the conversation. That was the first little conversation, you know. And I remember that, and because that was such a big deal. That was the first time I ever had anybody die that I've been that close to, and in the industry, and I kind of took my little sabbatical up there in Wisconsin and is doing this like work study program with this woman, Odessa Piper, who's a phenomenal chef. She started like the farm to table movement out there in the Midwest.
Right on.
And it's kind of one of those, like I just started working for her. And she, you know, you speak of Bobby Flay. She was like, you know, coming into work the first day I met her. She's like, oh, I just got off the phone with Bobby Flay. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, who the fuck am I working for? You know, and,
Who the fuck cares about Bobby Flay?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. We were having our staff meal, and she's like this old hippie lady, like super cool, laid back. And we're having our staff meal, and she's talking to all of us in the program. She's like, so what I want y'all to think about this summer is how you could save the world. And it's like, huh? What? Like, no, what?
It's a nice light concept for you to ponder over.
And,
See, I saved the world by not reproducing. That's how
right?
Solid, good start.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a really big comet myself, but
Yeah. So
sorry, I didn't mean to make a joke.
Oh no, this is totally like laughable. This whole thing was like, I went insane that summer because I went sober. I did like 47 days sober, and I was in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. This town, 1,600 people. Didn't know anyone there. Like, moved there with me and my dogs, and that was it. And I went to this little apartment, no TV, no internet, no cell service. Even like it was my own like personal suicide is what I called it. Like, I was clearing the fuck out, and I had this big wall, and I just started like, all right, if I'm going to think about anything, I guess I'm going to think about how to save the world. And this is like where it gets abstract and all that, but it was like, how do you save the world? All right, let's start breaking it down to like breaking down the problems. And
one slice of pizza at a time.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, we have the world. It's made up of continents. Save a continent, save a country, save a region, save a state. And you just keep breaking that down. Eventually you get to like a social group, to a group of friends, to the individual. And you start working with the individual. Like, you got to take care of yourself. And then, like, it's that whole idea, like, you can't help anybody else until you help yourself. And so I was thinking, I was like, man, that's kind of the point. Yeah, but what's the point of saving people in the restaurant industry? Like, that was just that argumentative question. It's like, you know what? We make amazing food, drink, whatever. Like, we bring people's lives up each day through food and drink.
Because they obviously
service.
can't cook for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. But like, so it's that atmosphere, the drink, and the food. Like, those are the three things. The service as well. So we can literally like change someone's life each time, and they're in different industries. Like, we're talking about construction, talking about nonprofit world, like whatever. Yeah. They're in business and finance, stock market, whatever. But like, we can make their day better, and it's almost like a pay it forward is how I see it. So we're already in the business of taking care of others. Yeah. So to be able to take care of ourselves is so important.
God, it's hard to like remember that,
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking like, well, how many people like have I cooked for that like decided to get engaged like within a week or like that night or something like that? I'll never know. That's cool. I wish them the best of luck in the rest of their life.
We used to talk about it all the time. Layers of people. That's basically what it breaks down. Especially like the leaky roof, that place we were talking about earlier. Like, you catch that place on a nice like Saturday night, like, oh damn, man. We are feeding people and we are nailing it good enough that you can see the
cheer,
the like
love.
These two people walked in unconnected. They are fucking tonight.
Good job then.
Yeah, they came in and they're like, this first date, maybe I don't even know you, and then we put some fucking duck down in front of them, and she was like, maybe I want to get to know you, and then I slung that creme brulee at her face, and she was like, I want to get to know you carnally in the car right fucking now.
We're having babies.
We're having babies tomorrow.
Conception.
Chadwell, and Charlie. Triplets.
I guess it's like a new term for like a preconception. You can actually see that preconception, as in like they're conceiving babies. It's not a preconceived idea. No, this is a preconception happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, my solution for saving the world: cut off everyone's non-dominant hand. Everyone in the entire world gets their non-dominant hand cut off. You can't open a jar of mayonnaise without assistance.
Ask for help.
You have to talk. All of a sudden, it's like, I need to, do this, but I only have one hand. Like, well, you better talk to old Lefty Jones over there.
And you know what you can't make without mayonnaise? Ranch dressing.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring it back to that.
I had to get.
You son of a bitch!
We made it like almost like 2 hours without saying the word ranch.
That's why I was like, why did I hear ranch today already? Oh yeah, because I was listening to the Tokyo.
Because almost ranch for the troops. Yeah.
God damn it!
Sorry,
Timmy.
I had to get ranch
God
in there.
damn
I
it,
think
Timmy.
we're getting pretty close to being done. So,
well, that's your one for the week, all right?
probably, to be honest with you.
Whenever we ate at Ska not too long ago, it was like, yep, we need like 3 or 4 ranches just for later. Still the best ranch in town.
It is. And that's the thing, too, is I'll rip on ranch all day. Half of the secret ingredient, my blackened chicken sandwich. How does it taste so good? Well, it's a combination of the blackened chicken, bacon jam, ranch. And, then I put green chilies on there. Ranch. 2 types of cheese. I use 2 types of cheese. Ranch.
I'm gonna fuck with you the next time. I'm gonna purposely have a meeting over there and order a jerkin chicken, but blackened chicken style.
Blackened
Dusty.
chicken style.
Black and dusty style.
Black and dusty style. Oh, God.
Be like, who the fuck is this?
Who the fuck is this?
And I'll just be out there
That
with my
motherfucker in
fingers.
the red shirt again.
Yeah, it's that red shirt guy with his whore wife. Oh my God, that's Blaine at a meeting. I just projected a lot onto his
It's
coworker.
outside of my mouth, too. It went outside of my mouth.
The window's open. Good day, folks.
You like the color blue? Because it's like a blue sky out there.
Man, top with the window, because we have windows. We have windows there. And that's still one of my favorites is with Tommy not realizing the window's open, a coworker of ours, and he walks up, and there's a dude sitting at the outside bar, which is literally 3 feet from the window, and he's got just a super shitty, like, bead bracelet on and a taster flight to himself. And Tommy just looks directly at him, and he's like, "You get that faggy bracelet with that taster flight?" And he didn't realize the window was open, so he pretty much just said it like right to his face. The guy just looks up like all sad, like pulls his sleeve down to cover the bracelet and turns away. Tommy's like, "Oh fuck, you need to tell me when that window's open, dude."
Dude, come on now.
God,
a
that's so
window.
brutal. That poor guy just probably cried
Yeah.
for hours.
I got
after,
my
like,
sweet beaded bracelet. Got a taster flight, ready to get some chicks in Sky. You get that faggy bracelet with that taster flight.
Check, please.
Check.
Didn't know I was going to be attacked personally at this
Yeah.
restaurant.
Are you okay, sir? Yeah, the pink vapor stew gave me the vapors. Oh, God. But, I mean, who orders a taster flight by themselves is the real question. Like, what kind of sick, twisted animal was that guy?
Hi, Dusty. Sitting right over here.
Yeah. You're that type of guy. You'll walk into a place and be like, instead of 1 beer, give me 6 tiny ones.
Well, it's a
Hey, then
taster
you
flight
get
of 16
then
ounce.
You get your favorite one later. Come on.
It is true. It is true.
Okay, so I forgot to wear my beaded bracelet today.
You did. You did. You've already been called a hippie once, though. So
I know. Time to shave the head again.
yeah. You goddamn long hairs coming around here, stirring things up for us good common folk, just trying to make a living in the oil field.
I just wanted to bum a cigarette. I guess that makes me hippie.
Hey, that's how Rambo started.
True that. And by the way, I guess Mad Max was originally penned in the year 2021. So we got all good things to look forward to next year.
Yeah, so we do have to get haircuts.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little long for Mad Max.
Anything will be better than this year, so.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tempt fate, please.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's been a year. It has been a year. But honestly, though, if we could just... I don't like Mad Max 1 as much, I guess. I like it as a movie, but I'm thinking, like, to live that, like, do I want to live with that production value?
So you're saying that you're going like Beyond Thunderdome?
Oh, yeah, we should cut straight to big fucking hair, Thunderdomes. UFC is already 2 steps ahead of me. They bought a fucking island. I give it 2 years until Tina Turner's ghost, a holographic Tina Turner, is standing over it saying, "2-man enter!" Like, oh, look, they brought in chainsaws to the UFC. This is going to be fun.
Well, let's go contradictory to that and say, like, no, actually, we do need another hero.
We could actually use another hero.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's okay. The election's coming up.
Oh, fuck.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, on that note,
Sounds like a good note for me, too, guys.
Yeah. Well, people, we'll leave you in suspense with that. It's been fun. It's been great. Have a good day.
Yeah, we'll see y'all later.
Yeah, cheers, Timmy. Thanks for having you.
Yeah.
And Blaine, it's great to have you.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
Great to
thanks,
have you,
guys.
Blaine.
To plug us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at _co, or
Nice.
our website is intheweedsco.org. So
Sweet. And I'll get the link and put that in the description for the episode too, because I'm baller like that, motherfuckers.
for sure. You're doing great
yeah.
work, Blaine. You don't have to do this much work, but you're doing it for a good cause. And that
Yeah.
gives me mad respects from me.
Yeah.
So
no,
thank
it's
you.
awesome. It's awesome being on this podcast. Like I was telling y'all, it's great to be on a Talk Real podcast and not Colorado Public Radio or anything like that, where I have to put on the face like a front of house person. So
Welcome to the back of the house. Welcome to Halley Boys.
Yeah. This kitchen style, back of the house, we keeps it real.
Yeah.
And you're a welcome guest anytime.
Sweet.
Also.
yeah. Oh, I live 50 feet away.
Yeah, I
so.
know. You're probably the most convenient guest. Yeah. It's amazing it's taken this long.
Timmy, what size shirt do you wear? I'll make these guys mail you a shirt or something.
Say that one more time.
What size shirt do you wear? I'll make these guys mail you a shirt.
2X is what I wear.
Word, got you, brother.
Magnum.
Yeah,
Double
right
Magnum.
I
I am the fat
wear a
chef.
double Magnum.
Yeah, double Magnum is what I have to rock.
What's the cup size?
Double D's too. You know what I mean?
Double D's, yeah. You got
I'm
any
the
in the
fat
weeds,
chef.
bras?
Well, thanks so much for having me, guys. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's been absolutely great. And then, again, thank you for what you do. You're doing a fine job. Keep it up.
You're doing
Yeah.
great. Real world knuckle bump for
Yeah.
all of you who can't hear it at home.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, good night.
Have a great one. Oh, cool. We stopped recording.